Hey folks, Jim Dexter of Tactical Team Staccato and Tactically Sound Training Center. Want to talk to you today a little bit about grip, specifically as it relates to the 2011 and getting out of the holster. Tons of great videos out there about grip, using support hand, strong hand. Today I want to talk specifically though about getting this gun out of the holster, especially as it relates to duty holsters and specifically people who are using Safariland type holsters with the SLS hood and that ALS little nub that's on the side of the holster of the automatic locking system. So got my STI Staccato P Duo here. Going to be working with a couple different holsters. First one being the SLS ALS version, and then I'll switch to just the ALS holster. So getting the gun out of the holster, first thing I have to do is I have to get to the gun. This is where I see a lot of, but especially patrol officers, being lazy or lackadaisical and going to that gun and being real slow about it and not having any drive or aggression going to that holster. And that's going to give them a bad grip, especially as it relates to a 2011 with a grip safety and a manual safety that I have to disengage when pointed in a safe direction. It has consequences if not done properly. First step in this is that I'm going to aggressively go to the holster. I'm going to drive down into the gun and into that back strap, up into the top of that grip safety. As I do this, my thumb's going to drive right down onto that hood of the SLS and it's going to drive it forward. You can see as I do that, it drives the web of my hand high up into that grip. That's going to, first off, give me a really solid master grip, high up on that back strap, high up on the tang of the gun. Secondly, as it relates specifically to a 2011 platform, is that it gets my master grip high and into that grip safety so that I'm certain that I'm going to deactivate that grip safety on my draw. My thumb goes pretty far forward. If I have an SLS-ALS combo, my thumb's going to rest forward of the ALS. If I have only an SLS, just the hood, I'm good to go ahead and drive this gun out of the holster, and my thumb's going to end up in a great position along my manual safety so that when I'm pointed in a safe direction and it's time for me to do so, I can disengage that manual safety. Now, moving on to an ALS platform. If I have the SLS and the ALS, or if I have an ALS only, I'm going to aggress to the holster in that same fashion. Speed comes from a couple things. First off, it comes from going fast. Secondly, it comes from going deliberately and with efficiency. So if I drive my hand hard down into my grip, get that good high master grip up on my back strap, get that good positioning of my hand into my grip safety, my thumb's going to land in the position that it needs to deactivate the ALS. Now I use an OTD numbod, so it gives me a little bit more surface area, but even if I didn't, my thumb is going to end up at about the first joint past the ALS nub or the ALS mechanism. This does a couple things. First off, it ensures that my thumb is in the correct position in order to disengage it with as much surface area as possible. As I roll my thumb across to disengage that locking system, I get as much of my thumb as possible on there. Secondly, it puts my thumb in a good position that when I roll it, in order to disengage that safety, my thumb ends up right at my manual safety. So I'm not disengaging this safety in an incorrect position or on my draw while it's still pointed downward. It puts my thumb in the correct position to be in. A lot of us, or a lot of times when we're trying to go fast, we'll try to just flick that nub, that ALS mechanism. Look what that does to my master grip. First off, I might miss it, especially if I'm not using a nub mod. The other thing it does is that it breaks my master grip and I'm not on my grip safety anymore. So there's the possibility that I'm not going to be able to marry my support hand up there and disengage that grip safety. Also, there's the possibility that my thumb is going to flick down and disengage my safety before I want it to. So remember, guys and girls, drive down into that gun, establish that good master grip. Get that thumb in there deliberately and efficiently, disengage that ALS, get that gun out, marry that grip up, and get to work. Remember folks, get trained, stay equipped, and be willing. This segment brought to you by Staccato 2011, built for heroes, made in Texas.